tremendous amount of business to transact today. And it's followed by many, many hours of due diligence. And I want to personally thank Commissioner Knight, Angela, and Cal, and Lena for the work they've done on the budget and the countless hours that they put on it, because I haven't been in with just a few of the deals, and it's been very, very enlightening. I appreciate the opportunity. With that being said, let's go to the Lord. Dear Lord, we thank you for all these assembled here to do the business of Jefferson County. Dear Lord, we pray for your guidance and touch us with your gentle understanding. Dear Lord, keep us to the task at hand. Keep us focused and our duties to improve the quality of life of our citizens. And Lord, give us the appreciation of where we've come from and the opportunities that are in front of us. Dear Lord, we pray for continued good health and prosperity. We ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Let's go down. I know that Commissioner Knight is going to have a full one. So let's just go 1, 2, 3. No, start. No, we're not going to do that. That's the last. We can start with economic development and let these folks. I thought they might want to enjoy what we did today.
I don't think they want to be here till 12:30.
And neither do I. Commissioner Bowler?
We'll start with this one,
Or we'll start with
mine in general.
no. Start with your general agenda.
Okay,
We'll go through it, and then we'll go 1, 2, 3, and finish up with you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. President. This is a good morning. I would start out economic development on the one that we're going to take in order. That just happened to be number 1 on my list, page 14. That is a resolution for incentives for proposed farm center to Hallmark District. Came in late on this. I've had the advantage of the county manager and his staff and everybody from his staff helping bring me up to speed. I've known of the Hallmark place on the side of the road since I guess I was a child. It's a beautiful place. I'm glad something fruitful looks like it's really going to come out of this and be for the benefit of all concerned. But my concern most especially is for Jefferson County, and that's a great thing. We've had the pleasure of dealing with one of the entities involved that's here with us this morning many times over the last couple of decades, and we've always found them to be completely upright, and their word is their bond. So I think it's going to be a mutually beneficial arrangement that will primarily benefit the citizenry of Jefferson County. So I proudly, move the resolution.
I move item 1. Mr. Chairman.
I move. I'll second it, and let's give them a chance to say something.
I'll start. I'm Jimmy Cornell. I want to thank y'all for the opportunity to be with y'all and the relationship that I feel like we've developed over the months that we've been discussing this project. That's a beautiful place up there, lots of possibilities. Most everyone knows a little bit about what we're talking about, but I'll hit a few high spots. We're talking about the Alabama Rural Economic Development Center being built there. A lot of folks call it the Farm Center, project that Alpha has taken the initiative to promote. The last thing I would want you to say or think even though is that this is a Alpha project. It's not. It is a project for the state of Alabama that Alpha has chosen to take the lead in and try to push and try to make happen. We've had a really nice visit, a lot of discussion on economic development over the prior few months as we have chosen to look for the site and selected this site as the place. So thank y'all for that working relationship that we've developed. And I thank you for the opportunity. This will be the beginning of the due diligence when y'all make this decision. We'll do all the design work and things that just can't be done until you actually have a site. So there's a lot of work to do yet. But this is a big step in the process. So thank y'all for the opportunity.
Well, I am excited about this as I have been for a project a long, long time. You're taking a rural area of Jefferson County and making it a destination point. And it's going to have tremendous effects on the community and help them enhance the quality of life of the citizens of Jefferson County and be a destination. I've looked at it and I'm really, really excited because the people are going to be part of a circuit that they travel, and this will be the Alabama destination for this circuit. They will maybe go from here to perhaps Kentucky or Illinois or Rome, Georgia, someplace like that, and it brings tourism dollars in, and it will furnish a venue for all of our ag business, all of our ag events that have been down at the Garrett Coliseum. It's kind of like I am. It's getting kind of long in the tooth. So I'm excited and I look forward to this, and I appreciate Commissioner Knight and what he's done to make sure that this came to fruition. And I'm going to charge y'all, this is the epitome of a public-private partnership. You have the county, you have the state, you have private business, and you have y'all. If y'all can't succeed, something's wrong. So I'm looking forward to great things coming up and for great things that will occur, not just in Jefferson County, but in the state of Alabama. So this is a great project.
Mr. Chairman, I've been working with them on this. Appreciate it. It's been a back and forth effort, and I think we're where we need to be at this point, and we appreciate the opportunity to bring this project to Jefferson County. The people in North Jefferson are excited about it. The ones that know about it, I can't talk about it, so, but the ones that do know about it are very excited. They look forward to doing it. I think we've got the wherewithal. We got the place. The place is there. It's iconic. Everybody knows it. And I think by setting up the center and doing it right, working together, it's going to be a really good thing. And again, the destination going forward, Jefferson County, North Jefferson County. So thank y'all for all you've done. And it's making the sausage. So we'll continue to grind it out. And the Hallmark board will meet tomorrow and pass a resolution on things that we have to do, and we'll move forward with this project and look forward.
I have a question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, ma'am.
More for Cam, if you don't mind.
Okay.
So what, and thank you that you did try to get us together. So what incentives exactly are we providing for this project?
All right, so right now, you're not committed to any incentives, but you are committing to kind of put the team together and do quite a bit of due diligence work. The plan would be for the incentives to be to install roadways and sewer for the site, which totals $16.5 million. Now, we do have some grant money for that. I think Doc got a CDBG grant for the sewer, and we're also looking to some ARPA money for some of the sewer. So that's really kind of unknown exactly how much is what, but the total value of the road work and sewer is about 16.5.
So we're talking about infrastructural,
In-kind road work. And they are also committing to paying for the site.
that is considered infrastructure, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And also, they're committing, their part of the commitment would be to pay the county for the site $13.7 million. And so we owe about
I think you just upped it a little bit. That's okay.
Well, how much is it?
35.
13.5. And that will get that includes the house, the barn, the old bridge, and everything, so.
So if we look at their commitment versus what we may be possibly looking at in terms of CDBG funds and ARPA funds, and you're talking about $3 million difference, is that right? You just said 3.5 from 16.5, that's 3, right? All right. So then, what's the funding source for this 3.5 that we would probably be looking at? Outside of CDBG and ARPA, where else is the money coming from?
If y'all choose to, it would be the Economic Development Fund.
Any other funds? Just that? So is this a part of recruitment or retention? You would consider this part?
Recruitment, I'll answer that.
I want him.
Well, he worked for us.
Oh, I know, but I want him to look me in my eyes and tell me that.
I don't
Are you
understand
telling me
the
that? Well, because we've had some discussions. I'm gonna leave that for a different time. But I think Brother Jimmy know where I'm coming from. If you tell me that this is that the money's gonna come from economic development, and we know what economic development funds should be used for as it relates to that, then I'm gonna wait till further discussion. How about that?
Sure.
Yeah, I would, in that regard, I would say recruitment and infrastructure.
So, with the board, who will sit on the board?
We
And
don't,
how?
right now, there's two different ways you can do it, under a state agricultural authority or a county agricultural authority. We've looked at both. State agricultural authority is not going to work. We're going to look at the county agricultural authority. The board will come from members that live in Jefferson County. Now, how we have to do that, we may have to go back and get some legislation tweaked. We may have to go to AG and get an opinion on something. So we don't know who exactly will be on the board yet.
So, will we have control of it?
The law says that the legislature, the legislation appoints, you can have as many as 7. The legislature appoints 4, the county appoints 3.
But it's our property and our money we giving the road, and we
Not
don't have
everybody
it.
there. It's
They're
It's
gonna
gonna be
buy
there.
it.
They're gonna buy it from us,
Yeah.
but they want us to do $16 million worth of work.
Well, they're gonna give us 13.5 million, so there's $3 million difference, and some of that's coming from the ARPA funds and community development fund. So it's, we don't know exactly what the difference is yet, but it's, when you're talking about bringing a state destination to Jefferson County, and it's such a good deal that, it's kind of hard to question that. And it's going to require perhaps some legislation. It's going to require us all working together for the good. But it's going to be a great project, and it gives us an opportunity to partner with the state, with Alpha, and with numerous business partners that will oversee this project. We're talking about statewide businesses, nationwide businesses, that it's going to bring a great deal of recognition to this county, and and perhaps his commission. So
And-
it's hard to,
And what we're doing today is doing the due diligence agreement, so that we're agreeing to go forward. They have some things they have to do. We have to look at some things that we have to do. The Hallmark Board has to look at things that they have to do. So this is just a movement. Go forward. It's not signing the final deal yet.
I understand.
And hopefully we'll get there after the due diligence period.
But we depending on the ordinance to come from the state to determine how the board is set up. And we
It's
trust,
legislation.
yeah, and we trust them like that, to make it to where well, look, they ain't never been no friend of mine. So what I'm saying, that we can't do like 3 and 3 appointments and then both of us appoint one person together like we doing on the Economic Development Board. Because it seems like every time we invest, we get the less appointments and we have no control.
Well, as I said, we may have to go back to the legislature. We just don't know that. But we have to cross some hurdles first, like, is it feasible? They're gonna do their studies, and then we'll look at these other items as they go. And we very well wait, we set it up so that we have until July 1st of 2024 to see if we can go forward or not. And if it takes more legislation, then that's what we'll have to do.
and let me remind everyone that this isn't a precedent. If you look at the Cooper Green, it's handled the same way. We don't have control of that board because we did not have that expertise. We don't have control of this board because we do not have that expertise. We depend on someone else to handle that. We put in more money constantly to the Cooper Green than we will with this. So if you have confidence in the way we did the Cooper Green, you'll have confidence in the way we do that.
I would like to point out too, that this has been discussed a lot, making the infrastructure an investment. If this endeavor was to fall through and fail, what we're really pushing to, the county would get the land back and the infrastructure and the roads and the sewer, so,
But it's not gonna fail.
oh, it's not gonna fail, but I'm just saying, if the board checks out however it does,
Right.
you know, we're not losing cash, we will have the investment and get it back.
And I'd like to add, right on the tail of the county manager, if you look at the resolution, the second star on the second page, which is this one, there's significant contingencies on behalf of Alpha. And they have deadlines and significant investment input in this. Nobody's taking it lightly, but if, as Cal Market said, the matter didn't succeed for whatever reason, the county could be the beneficiary of a windfall. So I think everybody's got a little burden on them. I agree with you, just to having 4 out of 7 instead of 3 out of 7, but that is a reasonably attainable goal once the session begins after the first of the year. And if not, maybe there are other alternatives that we could explore with the Attorney General. So everybody shares the feelings about that in their heart and in their head. But I did want to point out that they're not coming up here with us with our hat in our hand. They're coming up here with a contingency promise to raise a substantial amount of money to make this a very good project. Again, I'm a newbie on your commission, and certainly a newbie to this project, but I'm excited for my county and excited for the northern part of my county. 459 brought a lot of stuff to the southern end, and we don't have a northern belt line. There's a lot of farmers out there. It's close to my heart because my dad was a farm boy. If I'm anything in life, I'm my father's son. So, a lot of farmers are going to be going to the beach, they're going to be stopping for events there. I just hope I'll live long enough to see a lot of those horses and events out there. This will be a fun thing for everybody, especially the windfall to Jefferson Countyans, but it's going to be great for a lot of people in the state of Alabama that will be coming to
get traction.
I'm excited. Hope it works.
So the resolution as it reads is to provide incentives. So really, that's mainly what's before us now is the incentives in order to make this project work. I'm hearing due diligence and doing background and so forth. I understand that. I just want to make sure that this is what we are actually voting on is for the incentives to move forward, not due diligence, but the incentives. Am I
Well,
correct?
You're correct, but it's set up, certain things have to be done before your commitment kicks in.
Okay, so this is kind of like a performance agreement.
And it may be legislation, it may be Attorney General's opinion, it may be several different things.
So, County Attorney, let me ask this question. Are we, at this resolution, is it worded in such a way that the contingencies that we need in order for us to move forward on this project, that as we move forward, that the contingency, that those, since we're in a public setting, I just want to be so direct, but we have contingencies that based upon these different incremental paramounts that we need to achieve that protects the county's interest, and therefore those incentives will move forward as those hurdles are crossed.
These benchmarks are put in place. Sean will work diligently with the group to make sure that the county is well protected and those benchmarks are in place.
Okay.
Guaranteed.
I wanted to hear the legal word benchmark.
I like the word deliverables. If those deliverables are not met, is that we have the opportunity and they have the opportunity. What we're trying to do now is we're shaking hands and saying we've got a good project. Let's all work together to try to get it done.
Right? That's what we're doing.
That's right.
Okay, I get it. We ready to, Mr. Chair?
Call a question?
All question.
I move that we.
All in favor?
We gotta have a motion,
You got a
right?
motion in a second.
We motion, second.
Okay, well, motion and second. I didn't hear a motion.
Because you been talking.
I wasn't talking.
I moved it, give you a second.
How can I do that?
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm such a man. You don't have to be a person.
Way back to the end, I need to speak to one of these people before they leave. I assume you're going back to the line.
You got to finish your report. You got to finish this.
I hadn't finished anything. I was just wondering if I could put me back in my proper place at the end of the total.
So what we did, we just moved this one item to the front of the agenda for the courtesy of these folks.
Thank you.
And now we'll go back to the agenda. Commissioner Scales, if we can begin, and you will continue yours at the end of it.
Thank you.
Okay.
He's dangerous for us. See you later,
I'm gonna go with some more coffee. Anybody want any coffee?
No, thank you, Commissioner.
How about you, Theo?
I think I'm good.
All right. Thank you. Any of y'all want any coffee? It's gonna be a long day. Good.
Chris, just leave me the calendar.
It only took a half hour.
I appreciate that. Thank you to my fellow commission members. First, there's one that's not on the agenda. I'd like to defer to the county manager. He's going to explain, why I left it off.
Thank you, Commissioner. You did leave it off our minute track. Somehow we had a button to get unclicked, and we had one amendment to an existing agreement y'all had already approved that was supposed to be on the agenda and did not make it, and it's changing the name of a previous company to Securisoft. So we'd like to add that as a change the name to an existing agreement with the company. Y'all
I move for one item to keep it. Have a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Now, what is the old name?
It's short. It's just a name change.
I move for the amendment to the existing agreement.
Second.
So the old name was Securisoft, the new name would be Stella Source.
It's actually adding Stella, so they created an entity that is kind of like a, I don't want to say it's an agency they're going to be working together. So it's just adding both of them. Nothing changes for how much money you're going to be giving them or anything. It's just allowing both of those entities to hire because they're working together. So they are the same. So if you read through it, you can see that it just kind of, they just added this entity as part of their sister, I guess you would say, company. So that's all this is. It's just adding them so that whenever they request their incentive reimbursement, we know that they're together.
Sounds like it's just a matter of
Yes, it is.
transparency. Like
Yeah.
you're all in
That is
favor.
all
more
it
than
is.
all.
That is all it is.
You have a question?
No, I just,
But they are here, yes.
I mean, is this already an agreement already?
Sounds like it's an existing agreement, all you're doing is putting all the players out on
Okay, okay, no problem.
Y'all approve it back in May.
Okay, moved in second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All in favor, Mr. President? Thank you. You can release the both of the parties. Anything that you want to say before you go?
We had the two projects.
Okay. All right. Mr. President, the next.
Call billable hours.
Read one morning, does anyone?
Is this the same?
This is probably, no,
Jeff, what is this?
this is item 2 on economic development.
Bradford.
Would the commissioners check and see if one of them perhaps got my, while they were sitting here, got my black book?
I should have said that.
And I'm just writing.
Okay.
Well,
Do we want to share?
We can.
I look good.
was she writing in it?
I was.
It became her.
Commissioner Bowman, do you want to hit the Brasfield project first?
I'm sorry, say
Do
again.
you want to hit the Brasfield project first, the overview on that one?
It doesn't matter to me.
That's what we do.
Yep, so the next commissioners, you'll have the Braswell and Glory project, which is 772 here in.
Good.
Go ahead and introduce.
All right, so we've got a team from Brasfield and Gorey here today to give us an overview about a potential project that they're looking at for District 2. That's going to be located adjacent to their existing headquarters tower. They are currently exploring the opportunity to add a second sort of twin tower to their headquarters facility. This project would have an estimated capital investment of $19 million and would hire 70 new jobs in the area at an average wage of about $74,000. They are requesting assistance on this project in the form of the county's jobs grant based off of the payroll breakdown that we've received from the company. We think that over a 3-year period, that jobs grant would have a maximum cap of about $190,000 that would be paid in arrears after they hire and retain the employees. I've got some representatives from Brassville here today, so I'll let them speak a little bit more about their project in depth. One thing I will note, we have performed our typical cost-benefit analysis on this. BBA has provided that, and we've reviewed it. I believe it's in your packet, but if you don't have a copy of that, I'll be happy to provide that to you. So at this point,
good morning. My name is Nancy Fuad-Carey. I'm the Associate General Counsel with Brassville and Gorey. Thank you all for having me today and giving me time on your agenda to share a little bit about this proposed project for Brassville and Gorey. A little bit about Brassville and Gorey. Our roots are in Alabama. We were founded in 1964 by Mr. Miller Gorey when he purchased the company for just $45,000 from Mr. Brassfield. He and Miss Imogene Powell were the first 2 employees of the company, and Miss Imogene is one of the 5 named founders along with Mr. Gorey. Today, we have over 3,700 employees across the nation. We have 13 offices located in 8 states. Our headquarters sit in Alabama, and in Alabama, we have a little over 1,200 employees, and we're growing rapidly. Our Birmingham campus, our headquarters, is located in the Lakeview District, as Jeff mentioned, and over the last 5 years, we've made significant improvements and renovations on that campus. And thank you for your support. We're grateful for that and making those renovations. We invested our budget was about $26 million for those renovations and ended up having to get almost double that. Once we got in, we found that we had to do a little bit more than we expected to accommodate our growth. With those renovations, we committed to 88 net new jobs, which we have now exceeded. And as Jeff mentioned, we plan on a similar commitment with the new addition to the headquarters. Because we're continuing to grow rapidly, as I mentioned, we found that we will need this additional space, which will sit next to our existing building. We will need to construct a new building.
This is the existing building, and this is the project we're talking about.
Yeah. So as you'll see, we'll have a walkway that connects the new building to the existing building. The new building is about 28,000 square feet. It will be 3 stories, and it will hold 113 desks and 57 new offices. I think we've already mentioned that the proposed cost is $19 million. And this is an evening view of the building. As you can see, we've got like an illuminated display. This represents right now, we will be celebrating our 60th anniversary next year. We do not plan on renting that out. That is just to support the community. For instance, if the World Games, if we had this building during the World Games, we could have lighted this up as with the logo. So that's a nice feature that we're excited about as well. So that's just a short summary of the project. I'm happy to take any questions.
I move it. Second.
Good question. What incentives are we providing for this project?
Not more than 191,000.
yeah, we're proposing a jobs grant tied to the creation of jobs of about $74,000 in average wage. Cap on the incentives package would be $190,000, and that would have to be paid in arrears. So they would have to hire the employees, hold on to them for a year, and then submit it for reimbursement on that.
So it sounds like another performance agreement. Is that what I mean?
Yeah, if they don't.
And then our investment is $191.
Yes, ma'am.
It don't take me long to get it. It just all you got to do is tell me the money amount.
We're not.
Okay. All right. And so now 190 is to pay for. Are we talking about workforce?
Incentivized workforce, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
High paying workforce.
I got it. 74,000. How many jobs?
70.
70. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Just like to thank you for staying here and the commission helping to put this together. Brassville and Gorey, I'm the oldest member of this table. He's been a good corporate citizen of this county since I was a young man. Could have gone elsewhere. We're glad you're staying here. We're in those jobs and business here. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
I'd like to point out they're building the UAB West Hospital where we're working with them to build a road. They're ahead of schedule about 3 months, and they're an excellent company. They've helped with some major road projects, and we hope to learn a little bit from them in the coming months as well. But it's good that they're in Birmingham. It's a great
Pressure on you.
Let me ask, can I ask them a question too? It's not related to this project. How much of the work y'all get out of Alabama? What, about 90%?
No, in Alabama, it's about, I've got it,
9%?
it may be on that sheet that you've got there on the flip side. Yes, you see our revenue is about 9% Alabama, so our highest revenue is in Georgia.
All I see is y'all signs up when something being built. That's all I'm trying to get that.
We're growing fast here, and we're committed to continue to grow here in Alabama.
You're bringing the money back here, Rob.
That's right.
And if I could add maybe a little bit more context to that, and this is something that I really feel, is that while their growth has been astronomical, really in other states, and they've set up other offices around the southeast, their commitment to grow their headquarters in Birmingham has been strong, and they've really backed up their commitment to dollars. So a good opportunity for us as a community to keep their growth here and secure some really good paying jobs here in the community.
So Mr. Milligore really helped us out on a bridge to the third oldest Girl Scout camp in the nation. And a lot of that was gratuitous, and we really appreciated that, and it was a great job. So,
Thank you.
everybody.
Just out of curiosity, who is the contractor to be building the addition?
The contractor is Pylon Building Group, who you may have heard of. So, and that is a new venture from Braswell and Gorey, and just due to licensing and bond capacity, we structured it so that it is a wholly owned subsidiary of Braswell and Gorey. But once they already have a few projects they're working on, and so once they are able to have the experience and the portfolio to move out on their own, they will come out from Braswell and Gorey. They will not be an affiliate of Braswell and Gorey any longer.
Good plan. All the best. We
It's been moved and seconded.
Motion
Carried.
carried. Call for question.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Nothing good to you so far. Keep
And then
up,
our-
keep going.
We got through 2 items in an hour. We're good.
All right. Yeah, this will be the last economic development project. So the next one that's on the list is a redevelopment project, also District 2 over in Homewood.
And then it's in District 5, or in District?
No, it's District 2.
Okay.
So if y'all are familiar with the old Econo Lodge off of Oxmoor Road in Homewood, y'all may be a little bit familiar with its history. It's kind of been a focal point for shenanigans over the years, and would be considered, at least in my mind, a blighted property that's really hindered a lot of growth on the West Homewood sort of District 2 side of Homewood. We've got a developer that's looking at taking the property, demolishing the blighted hotel campus that exists there currently, bring in multifamily housing and retail space. And it'd be a really nice redevelopment project for that site. But they are facing a little bit of a funding gap, so they've asked us to think of ways in which the county might be able to come in and assist. We try to approach any sort of incentive proposal as a performance-based proposal. So what we've thought about doing with this particular project is looking at the retail sales component and rebating a portion of that up to $340,000 to help offset some of the costs for this $32.5 million redevelopment project. The city of Homewood has already considered this, and they are participating with an incentives package that's pretty significant. If you were to look at a participation ratio, Homewood's participating 5 to 1 if we were to pass this at $340 million. At this point, I'll turn it over to Trey. I'm not going to reintroduce him again.
Yeah, I'm going to turn it over to Tom Walker.
Great job.
And Tom.
How are y'all? Good morning.
Wonderful, how are you?
Wonderful. Like I said, my name is Tom Walker. I'm the president of Village Creek Development. We are working on a project in West Homewood. I'm a Homewood resident, so this project is very, very especially me. Village Creek Development is a partnership with Wicker Park Capital Management, based in Savannah, Georgia, and myself. This is our first project of this size since we've been together. But my background, by way, just to give you guys a little bit of history, I worked for Bear Properties and worked on the Pizzitz building primarily as the primary point of contact and development manager for that project. After that, I went and ran Sloss Real Estate Company for Kathy Sloss Jones for 5 years. And in doing so, left after about 5 years and came and started Village Creek Development. So we started that at the beginning of 2022. Our company's young, but we have a lot of experience in doing these types of projects, and so I want to give you guys confidence in that. As Jeff mentioned, we were approached really in an off-market transaction about the Econo Lodge. For a long time, the Econo Lodge had not been for sale, and the timing was right from the operator's point of view that they wanted everyone to they would consider our offers in an off-market transaction. So we put it under contract. It's not a normal real estate deal. This was not marketed out to developers. We went out and really started underwriting what could be here. There was an existing mixed-use development or zoning ordinance in place. We worked with the city of Homewood through their planning commission and through city council to achieve the entitlement that we needed, which really were not significant in changes. There was a requirement for a very dense, walkable, mixed-use project on that site if there were to be redevelopment. We also, as Jeff mentioned, have worked through an incentive agreement with the city of Homewood as well. So all that being said, we've received a tremendous amount of positive feedback from the community. Mostly what we really want to drive home to you all in this is that this is an addition by subtraction, just from day one. And just a couple of instances to sort of drive home what the Econo Lodge meant to this neighborhood. That hotel was about 500 yards away from Paul Kent Elementary School. Several days during the school year, they would have to close down carpool, whether in the morning or in the evening, because they were having active criminal issues in the neighborhood. The police department or the sheriff would have to shut it down. There's a really high burden from emergency medical teams and emergency services to come into the site, whether it be through drug use, prostitution, domestic violence. Really, a lot of bad stuff that's happened in this hotel. So as I said, we believe this is an addition by subtraction. And the other thing that we think is really significant as what this project is bringing to the neighborhood is obviously we're bringing in 2 new restaurants. The restaurants will be second locations of El Barrio and Paramount. So as you can see in this building, we have 10,000 square feet down along Oxmoor Road. These are loft-style units that are above it. There are 18 of those. And then there are 51 townhomes behind the project that are all for rent as well. We believe that this type of product doesn't really exist in Birmingham or Homewood or Jefferson County as far as the townhomes. And to be able to come in, take away such a blight to the neighborhood in the Econo Lodge and add back in such tremendous restaurant uses, we had a lot of support from the city and from the residents about it. And then lastly, West Homewood has always been considered the port of Homewood that is sort of tangent to the majority of Homewood proper. The stepchild, if you will. As a stepchild, I'll take offense to that, but that's what it's always been considered. And so we felt it's proper to create a gateway to West Homewood and create somewhere that really helps you come in and understand while you're entering into a community, you're entering into a thriving community and a community that's in really, really prosperous shape. So we feel it's like the gateway to Homewood. We hadn't quite named the project yet, but we do feel like it'll have some sort of component of that to the process. So happy to answer any questions you all have about it and appreciate y'all's consideration.
I have a question.
Or Jeff, this is Jeff. Are our incentives, are they toward the back end of this project?
Yes, they're performance-based.
That answers my question. Thank you.
And one thing I did not mention, there is a cost-benefit analysis on this project as well. And we estimate that over a 10-year period, even if the county commission decides to grant the incentives over a 10-year period, we should net revenues of about $2.8 million on this as well. So it's good cash flow, and it is paid in arrears on incentives.
What we talked about a ratio within the municipality. That for the contribution by a large amount.
Mhm.
And we're talking about performance-based deliverables. So I move the project.
Second, I just had one clarification. So, is it tax abatements that I heard that you were trying?
Not tax abatements. It would
You're
be,
shaking your head, I'm trying to
sorry.
figure out what.
It would be a real.
I want you to earn your keep now. You had a handsome easel up there, and you did good.
Yeah, it would be a rebate of sales taxes generated off of the retail and just a portion.
So sales tax?
Yeah.
Okay.
But not a.
How much of
rebate
that,
would be a
well, are we rebating?
340 cap, $340,000 cap. So up to
1% of the county's 2%.
Yeah.
Will be
Oh,
rebated.
yeah.
Yeah, for
Will you want to say it for
Sure,
me?
yeah,
Come on,
sorry.
so you do it.
So it's limited to the sales of the two restaurants, and it's limited to 1% of the county's 2% of sales tax levied on the sale of food and beverages at those two restaurants. It's capped at up to $340,000 over the term of the agreement. So if actual sales don't rise up to a level that we get to that $340,000 cap by the end of the agreement, it would be a lesser amount.
So let me ask this question. What is the life of this agreement?
Up to 10 years or 340, depending on what they hit first.
When does it?
So if they hit.
Wait, hold on. Are you come to the front? So especially since you say you worked on that position project, I'm surprised that you wouldn't know who I am.
I do.
So let me ask this question. So we saying for 10 years that you all would not exceed $340,000 in sales?
No, ma'am. That's for the county share. 1% of 2%. The county share is 2% of all of the sales tax, right?
That's right.
All right. So we're asking for 1% of that on an annual basis, not to exceed a total investment from the county of $340,000.
We estimate they're going to hit that number well before the 10 years.
No kidding. That's why I laughed, because I was about to say that's not mathematically, that might make political sense, but it definitely doesn't make financial sense. So let me go back to so I can have an understanding again. So out of the 1 cent, I get it, the 2 cent, 1 cent, you talk about getting, but we don't want to exceed, is it $340,000 per year?
No.
Or are you talking about for 10 years?
Over 10 years. Yeah, so the estimated sales as a restaurant, I mean, it's hard to have, but if they're $5 million, say, which is in line with expectation, it could be a little less than that. If you run out $5 million of sales every year for 10 years and apply the incentive to those sales, 1% of that effectively, then you would cross the $340,000 cap in year 6 or 7, something like that. And so I suggested to run this out over 10 years to follow what the city of Homewood did, but to have a protection or a cap in there that the county can feel comfortable with, that if sales exceed expectation, you're still capped at $340,000.
Okay, so hold on.
Let me say something just a minute ago. This is something that has institutional knowledge that perhaps we did not have moving forward. You have, we have two 1 cents. One is the school tax, the other is our general sales tax. This would come from the general sales tax.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have most of the general sales tax already pledged to Cook and Grain, the health
So
department.
that's what I'm going.
So, and that's the reason why so I want this to, it may take, if we're going to utilize that for an incentive package, you need to refigure. Or, because that money's already allocated and designated.
Yeah.
Commissioner, I think you brought up a good point. It'd probably be safer for us to give an incentive.
Just give them an incentive.
Based on if they perform with that sales tax ratio.
Okay. So what's the funding source for the 300? $40,000 then if it's not? the
Well,
economic sales tax?
it may be that, you may generate that.
The economic development fund will be the actual funding source, but we would base the amount on if you made the appropriate number of sales.
So
It really wouldn't make any
to
difference.
comment on that, I understand the concern, and I think that one of the beautiful things or the strategic things about the way we've structured this is that all the funding that we're contemplating right here is net new to the county. It could not possibly be pledged to anything right now because it hasn't been created yet, if that makes sense. Everything that we're talking about is new income, new revenue, and we're only really asking for 1 cent out of the 2 cents.
When would this start?
It would probably, we're contemplating an agreement that would be done on an annual basis, and the first payment, I believe, would be paid at the end of 2024, correct?
Well, I mean, when will your restaurants be up and running, I guess?
Restaurants will be up and running about a year from now.
What are the
So it
estimated
won't
tax
kick in
revenue?
until construction.
Estimated tax revenue for the county or in general? For the
county.
For the county. So let's see. It's we're doing $5 million worth of sales. Of that, $500,000 will be generated sales tax on an annual basis, and that's $200,000 to the county.
So, yeah, so multiply that by 0.37, which is what we get of our general sales tax. And that'll give you the amount of money that is available to be utilized.
That's right. So 1.275 over 10 years. This is all net new money. Again, this is money that right now is not being generated because there is no retail sales taking place on the property.
And that
So
figure is
you may
just
have
the
enough
new
to cover.
sales tax.
Yes, sir.
We estimate about far away.
Yeah, so you're good.
Okay, thank you.
But you can't, part of that money is earmarked. You can't go to more than 0.37 percent.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm saying. Yes, sir. We understand.
Right, so I want to make sure that I'm clear, so the funding source is or is not.
Sales tax.
Sales tax.
Okay. Don't beat the new kid down. I want to understand this economic development fund. I'm new.
You can't
I'm
use
just
that
as new to the economic development fund.
What's the name of the
All right.
motel now?
The Econo Lodge.
Get ready to get fun now.
Jeff seemed to know a lot about that economy lodge. I was down the street at Jitterbug, so I didn't know
A borderline.
It's
a
borderline,
Rosedale.
right at it.
Right at Homewood and Rosedale.
Yes, ma'am.
Have y'all talked to the community about that?
Yes, ma'am. Rosedale has been involved in everything we've done in the city of Homewood.
So what is the city of Homewood? What is it invest?
$1.5 million.
Is that annually or lifetime?
Total.
So they're doing $1 million in retail sales, but tax rebates over a 10-year period. That's why we went with 10, kind of reflect their. 400,000 in construction tax rebates and 100,000 in business license construction.
So you said you're doing $1.5 million. Okay.
For the apartments, y'all are building apartments over there?
Yes, ma'am.
So are they affordable?
Yeah, I mean, yes, ma'am. We consider West Homewood a neighborhood in which that there is a housing shortage, like there is in all of Homewood, and we will definitely go out and market them at whatever we can give them for. But the rents in those markets are nowhere near what the rents are in the other parts of Homewood.
Right. Because they're very expensive.
In
But
what-
in
yes, ma'am.
Rosedale, they're not as
Yes, ma'am. We have to protect ourselves.
I moved
So
that.
we didn't move in a second, but let me ask this one last thing. When do you foresee this project actually finishing and opening?
We think the restaurants will be open in about a year, and we'll hope to have all the housing finished by the end of 2024.
Okay, so that is the multi-use project that Solomon Crenshaw, I hope he took a nice photo of you today.
I know Solomon.
He wrote up a nice little article, so my point is this is the project
Yes,
that we're
ma'am. I've
referring
spoken to
to,
Solomon
right?
before. He's been very nice and
Well,
considerate.
we're not his nicety is not in question. I'm saying, I'm talking about, is this the same project?
Yes, ma'am. I believe so. Solomon.
What he writes.
Well, no, I read it, so I just wanted to make sure this is the project in question.
I just didn't want to put words in his mouth, but I believe it is. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, there is, isn't it?
And so you did say that y'all talked to the people. Did y'all have a town hall meeting
Yes,
over there?
ma'am. We did. Seeds Coffee. The city asked us to do that. I call those.
Did you have it at the Rex Center? Did you have it at Rosedale Park? Or did you
No,
have
ma'am. We had it at Seeds Coffee, directly across the site from where we're built, from where the hotel is.
And you reached out to So I see, because I've already met with them about this, about housing, but
Yes, ma'am. Rosedale's been involved through all of our conversations with the city. The reps from the city that's been there, and then there was a lot of what I call my classmates in going through city council. There was a lot of issues with churches that were trying to sort of encumber into Rosedale, and we had conversations about what we were doing there. And like I said, we did not have one single negative piece of feedback from the community in relating to the project, primarily because of what we're taking away.
Well, you had a mover and a second.
Motion and second.
Hold that.
I'll say all in favor.
Aye.
All in favor?
All in favor.
Aye.
Here we go.
You gonna get it down to a sign?
Yeah, we did. We just used to say it overruled.
Let's keep all these economic development centers going.
Y'all in good business.
All right, Commissioner, I'll take number 4 and 5 if you want me to.
Okay.
Number 4, Commissioner, is related to economic development and this funding for the JCIDA, and we're proposing a AO to stipulate that the funding to fund the JCIDA board and their operations comes out of the general fund, because the amount of property they have sold, put businesses on, and increase the taxes covers all that cost. The way we've been doing it in previous years, y'all would loan them money, they take the money, buy land in the Jeff Knapp Park, they sell the property eventually, you pay us back the loan, they use the difference to help fund the operation. Most of Jeff Knapp Park now is completely full, and so this gives us an opportunity to kind of start over and really set up the funding so they can operate, building our next new industrial park. It makes it cleaner and easier to operate. So
The funding source for this, you say general fund, but it's actually from the tax revenues generated from within the boundaries of the park.
right. We have done calculations, and the amount of property tax we were receiving before they started versus now, we calculated up to $1.5 million when we stopped calculating because it was a lot of work, but they will be getting less funds than they have generated.
And what that is, that handles just like a TIF district, tax increment financing, is that they're able to stand on their own and operate from within the monies that they generate themselves, which is the way it should be, and we need to use that moving forward if we can.
Yeah, a lot of those
Good
companies,
job.
a lot of those companies have been, they come online now after their abatements. They've been there
That's right.
for this period of time that they're coming online now. So I move the item.
Second.
Commissioners, I'm going to ask, just for matters of housekeeping, you have some administrative orders on the agenda, and they have administrative orders, and they have then titles beside it, but they have numbers. And I would ask that you all, if you would just pass these without the numbers, and so the minute clerk can assign those once they're done on the agenda, rather than to name them like 23-2 and 23-1, if you would just do them and amend those, deleting those numbers, and allow those to be assigned at the meeting.
Well, I move.
Wait a minute. So are we moving 4 and 5 at this juncture?
No, we're just saying as you get to them, if you would just do them, amend those, take the number, delete the numbers that are assigned to them.
All right. Well, I move item 4 under economic development, administrative order 23-1, formerly known as administrative order 23.2.
Second. Motion second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, Commissioners, you have Administrative Order 23-? Economic Development Fund. This sets forth some kind of guidelines for our department to process your economic development projects. It also sets forth kind of 2 categories: direct economic development activities and enhancement type activities. This just makes it clearer and easier for us to do our job. And it also sets forth 90% of the funds of the economic development
account will be for direct economic development activities, and 10%, if you chose to, could be used for enhancement activities such as maybe a Magic City Classic, or some types of things that don't directly create jobs, but definitely directly improve the economy.
I would like to say that the purpose of this would be more for economic enhancement within the communities. You say you have a food desert area, let's just say Forestdale, or let's say Brighton, or let's say Lipscomb. You would be able to take a portion of this money who would not need, a small business person who would not use millions and millions of dollars. They would need, if they were doing a grocery store, they would need, we need $100,000 to set up our inventories to give us an opportunity to be successful in a grocery store. We would be able to fund that from this particular source. And if you have economic enhancement for a particular area, and then you have quality of life for that area, because you're providing a service that they did not have. Now, I think that would be more in line with what we down than have a fund volume.
It's set up for that, or activities that help the economy, and it's definitely set up for that commission. That was the intention.
I want that, because that was the original purpose of it, was to utilize some of this economic development fund for areas that didn't have it. And it doesn't need necessarily the billions and millions of dollars, because you're going to have a mom and pop grocery store, which I'm very familiar with. And I know what $100,000 or $50,000 or $200,000 would have meant for a small grocery business. You've got drugstores that would be into that area, and you go to a restaurant. You've seen the city of Birmingham do that with investing in moving that. So this is a fund that will be similar to that, be able to be utilized in a lesser extent to those areas that actually really do need it.
So will we be safe in saying then, Mr. President, so that we don't put restrictions on that funding, that we can say any community-related, whether it be regardless of the project nature, as long as it has an indirect or direct impact into the counties financially or economically, basically is what I'm trying to say, then this fund would suffice. Is that what I'm hearing?
Or 10% of this fund.
No, I'm hearing 10% or 10 million. I get that. That's 1 million. And I'm saying so that we're not restricting the use of this fund, that we say that it is for community-related projects that will have either an indirect or direct impact on the county.
Sure. And the indirect but important activities that indirectly support economic development through tourism, sporting events, entrepreneurship, business development to include incubators, accelerators, and other vital activities.
It's important we say investment, because we're not giving anything, we're investing. And
everything we did today has been an investment.
It's been an investment. Right.
So we just want to keep the investment going.
Keep the investment going.
So I love the smell of investment. We just want to have investment in those underserved areas that we've been trying to get there for.
Like the World Games. That's what you.
No.
Because I don't know what
I'm not going to do that.
A bunch of units.
No.
If what I described is what I would like the intent of this to be, and I would like to.
Are we in agreement with that wording that he just suggested?
It will be included in it, yes.
This is more of an input into something than to an event.
I move the item.
Well, we're going to move the item and second it based upon the wording that we just heard. We in agreement with that?
Yeah, it's,
Okay.
That's the definition.
that is the word.
Okay, so, let me ask this before you carry the vote, sir. So, then, Mr. Finance Chair, we're also looking at, some things as relates to your presentation also. So is that this become a lot more meaningful? Because we know some of the needs that we're talking about will exceed 1 million. And so you've already got a move and a second, and I'm sure you're ready to call for the vote. And just wanted to say that with us getting ready to go into your portion of the presentation, so that this all will collectively make sense. All right, you ready to carry the vote?
I have.
All right.
We've lost to
No, you have. You got four. You got a move and a second. All those in favor?
all in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Yes, sir. You're doing good.
Hanging in there, learning.
You're doing good.
Keep going.
Commissioners, Ms. Tyson is asking for a pen and ink change to the document under the enhancement part on the quarterly reporting. If we could make that, I don't know the exact term, equal to the federal tax quarterly reporting that's required by businesses, that would make it easier on these small businesses. So we'll make that change and have it submitted for the Thursday agenda.
Where would that go under, what part of the,
It's under,
the pages aren't numbered?
it's under the enhancement activities on the requirements.
Go on, 2021.
You got A, B,
Because the county can't supersede the federal government anyway. You know that, George.
under B, organization and program support, commissioners, what we were saying, certain information had to be submitted in order to, process the grant. Letter D, quarterly reports, we want to make that equal to what they already have to do for the federal tax requirements.
Okay.
So I will change that.
So then do we need to go back and make an amendment to that motion so that we accept the language that we just spoke of? So, Mr. Chair, if you can, who made the motion?
I move
You
the
want to
item.
withdraw your motion?
Well,
He made the motion, and he's out.
I move to remove his motion and move to amend his motion to include the changes in item D, item C, 1D.
Can that be done? I've never heard of that.
But it is.
I know, but we wanted to count.
Well, it's an amendment.
I understand, Howard, but if we're gonna make an amendment, we typically,
No, you don't have to withdraw it, you can amend it. I just amended the language.
Okay, well.
Jimmy, just say aye.
Yeah. Jimmy keep having all these outdoor meetings.
I wasn't an outdoor meeting, we just happened to be at the same cup of coffee.
I know, I understand. So, okay,
we're amending
please,
this.
Ms. Lanier, enlighten the county attorney. Do we have to do that? We can just amend it without it? I'm talking about without that, as long as we accept.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so you made the motion?
I made the
I'm a
motion
second,
to
and
amend.
you ready to carry the vote?
Ready, all in favor?
All right, thank you.
Opposed?
All right, commissioners, I wanted to thank Commissioner Bolin. How many weeks you been here? 4, 3?
About 5.
4 or 5, and he's been drinking from a fire hose. He's been a big help with the economic development projects, and thank you. That was a lot. We still got a lot more projects coming. We're working through.
Thank you. This has been a great start for me. The commissioners that I've got to know and meet, but just as importantly, the county team, starting with the county manager and all the ones in this room that have helped me, because this is foreign to my existence. I've always spent my time in the judicial branch of government, but I am proud of the team, and I am ignorant, but when I ask foolish and simple questions, they don't smile or laugh at me. They educate me, and I appreciate all that you've done. All of you, you know who you are.
All right, now you gotta finish your report. Now you gotta finish your
Now,
report.
do your information technology.
No, just this cost sharing agreement. And
I move it.
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Move items in your other business, items 1 through 3.
I would like to add 5,000 to item 1.
Okay. Move with an amendment to item number 1, items 1 through 3, include the amendment.
Second.
No, Tyson already seconded.
Okay.
You ready to carry the vote?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Call on bid.
And thank you for that 5,000. And if anybody ever has time, go out to the Glenwood facility. They'll take you around, and they're doing the Lord's work out there. For very, very
We got some
handicapped individuals.
We got some other items coming up. Of that. Thank you.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
All right, Commissioner Scale. Here, you want mine?
Public Works, Community Services, and Intergovernmental.
I've never known anything to be pressurized, and I'm getting ready to drink.
All right, Public Works, Community Services, and Intergovernmental Relations Committee. We have no items for board equalization. We have a total of 3 items under Environmental Services. David Dinner, is he here? Okay, any questions for David?
I move 1 through 3.
All right.
Second.
All right, has been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
No items on the general retirement system of Jefferson County. 1 item under human resources. And madam, do you all have a question for our HR executive?
Yeah, I do. I'll move it, but what will be the purpose of a 457 advisor? We have, how many 457 programs now? 3?
We have 4 current vendors that we use for investments.
And what would be the duties and responsibilities of this advisor?
The financial advisor will serve as a co-fiduciary for the plan for us and offer financial advisement as to how the plans are performing related to the finances and make recommendations if we have investment options that are performing above or below market, how we may need to handle those options.
It seems like you're paying a lot of money for something that you see in a report. And you can say what you want to, but these reports that we have, you can discern whether they are in above market or below market, and we've got one that's below market that you're aware of. Have you spoken with them to see if they're going to bring up the market? Will you perform an advisory to this?
So they may not be able to bring a fund up to market, but they could recommend an alternative fund for us to utilize so that it would perform at market value and our employees would be able to maximize their funds.
Your employees have become very comfortable with several of these funds that we have. And I'm not advocating any particular one, but most of these are approved through NACO. And they already have that type of service that you're requesting. Also, if the county manager will hire that external advisor, financial advisor that will handle our investments and our debt service, this would possibly be a duty of them because it's the same type of situation.
I'd like to speak to that. The NACO involvement does not relieve us of any liability to our employees for their investments. I think this is a typical requirement to have a certified financial advisor firm looking at these investments to ensure our employees are making the best bang for their buck. And we also plan to, have quarterly reports submitted to the investment committee that y'all have set up, and then, go from there. We don't expect them to do anything but help the funds and improve the amount of money that the employees make on their investment.
In addition, they would offer advisement to our employees about their investment strategies at no charge.
Will this absolve us from any liability? I know that these contracts we have are individual contracts. It's between the company and the employee. If we, and we have no advisor, if we select this, does that relieve us or of our liability, or does it perhaps open up the liability?
No, they serve as a co-fiduciary, so they are co-responsible for the plan, whereas right now, we are solely responsible for the $55 million that our employees have invested in these funds.
And this is a 3-year contract. Is that $55,000 per year?
Yes, sir.
You recommend this?
Yes, sir.
I'll move the item.
Thank you.
Is there a second? Been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. As have one item of new business, so if you all will oblige.
I move for consideration one item of new business for District 1.
Yes.
Hang on.
Nothing unprecedented. Got a mover, I get a second. It's been moved. Item of new business requires a vote. Right? Yeah. Any questions? Okay. All right. Yeah, we all in agreement? Okay.
I move that.
All right. Been moved and properly seconded. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. That is.
Aye.
Huh? No, that's what we did. Remember we.
Well, then I lost count.
See, it's still happening. But thank you. You're gonna make it look on your report.
We'll keep you here to lunch.
Well,
Not to lunch, through lunch. Commissioner Tosh, District 2.
Development and Health Services Committee. I will skip all the way down to the Development and Community Service, Dr. Hamilton.
Good morning, Commissioners. We have 7 items this morning. I want to take the first 4 and just kind of lump them in together. These first 4 items pertaining to our Emergency Solution Grant, which we actually give the homeless providers a portion of these ESG funds. Our FY22 allocation was $211,000, and so we're giving One Roof, First Light, Cooperative Downtown Ministries, and Pathways $31,000 for the operations of their facilities.
So moved.
Second.
First and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 5 is Wilford Army Construction for the Palmerdale General Fund Storm Shelter. This is Amendment 1 for $2,295 to install.
Second.
First and second, item 5, can I get a,
Aye.
okay, item 5,
Okay, number 6.
I moved 6 and 7. It's staggered agreement.
Yes, sir.
it's been, item 6 and 7 has been first and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We will skip all the way down to the Sheriff Department.
For dispatch service, I move that item.
Second.
It's been, Sheriff Department, item 1, first and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, I have youth detention.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Can you hear
Well,
me?
good morning.
Go ahead, Monique.
Okay. We are asking for a resolution in order to cancel the bid stream contract. You all allow for us to purchase the new data management software system, Right Track. We're currently being trained on it on site right now. It was scheduled to go live September 25th, and we need to conclude our contract with Bidstream.
Can I get a motion?
Why don't we change it?
Monique, why are we changing?
Yes. The Right Track software system is an enhanced data management system. It will allow for us to be able to generate our own reports. We will be able to calculate the recidivism data, provide you all with a comprehensive overlook of the facility, a snapshot at any given time. The current provider, we're unable to garner that information quickly without having to go through them for data analysis.
Okay, good.
Did I get that?
We have a motion.
Okay.
I move 1 and 2.
All right. You put them in the same one.
Other good. 1 and 2.
Oh, okay, I'm
We can pass that.
I
Did
moved-
we do
I moved
Bidstream?
Bidstream.
Just acknowledge it? Second?
Okay, it's been first and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye. Move items 1 and 2.
Did I do it first and second?
Yeah, second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I have a new business, the Negro Southern Museum, funding $13,000. Yeah.
I'll move for consideration of 1 item in new business.
Second?
I have first and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Can I get a motion on the floor to pass?
Let's see what we got. We haven't seen it yet.
Oh, this coming out of your district.
Yes, out of my district.
Okay. Then,
I'll move.
move the item, second?
It's been first and second, all in favor, say
Aye.
aye.
Administrative and infrastructure, we have roads and transportation. We have 10 items on here. Does anybody have any of these you want to look at separately?
Move 1 through 10.
I can say move 1 through 10, and I have second, and I have a question just on item number 2, if you don't mind.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, item number 2.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
If I can get the answer on it, then we can actually move it. Tell me a little bit more about that property quit claim to Birmingham Fire District. What is that?
That's Birmingham Court.
Oh, Birmingham
Birmingham Court,
Court.
that's a.
No, I know what Birmingham Court is. I was like, forgive me. And the lenses. Okay, I got it. You got to move in a second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Sorry about that.
County Attorney, we have the minutes.
Move.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
I have,
Second.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I have 2 items of new business. And one of these is a resolution concerning the Oak Grove Memorial Park and Recreation Board. They are setting it up again, and you got, and this expires the terms.
How many items on this?
2.
Okay, I move that we consider 2 items of new business for District 3. All right.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And then the first was an Oak Grove Memorial Park, which is their little neighborhood deal. The second is a letter of recommendation to you for
Correct.
Charter Communications.
It's a letter of support.
Letter of support from Charter Communications. They're going to use broadband grant funding request for a $11 million project, fiber to home delivery in in the Kimberly area, Kimberly, Morris, it's a rural area, Palmerdale, and they're asking for a letter of support. Move to
Second.
have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Commissioner, that completes my report. Commissioner Knight.
All right, the moment we've all.
We got more people that I didn't even know.
All right. We got to put this on the record.
I'll take them a little bit out of order. Item 1 through 6. Any 1 through 5. Any questions on 1 through 5? Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
I'd like to skip over to the multiple staff development. I have a motion.
Move the item.
A motion. Second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
With Board of Registrars, I have a precinct location change, precinct 3020 to Grace Life Church.
Where's that located? We can move it, but I just want to know where that is.
It's probably in Jimmy's district.
Jimmy is.
Mary Young phone.
Grace Life Church.
Great Life is, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
To McCall.
Okay.
Aye.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Developmental Services, Mr. Morrison, Z230023.
Good morning. The first couple of cases that are on for your consideration this week are very similar. The United Methodist Church, I believe, is unloading a lot of parsonages from their real estate portfolios. The first case is a situation out of the Newcastle area where you have a church, a family life center, and a parsonage. They've gone through the subdivision process to split the property, and the rezoning for this is to change the parsonage zoning from institutional to A1 agriculture, like everything around it. In fact, they had to get a variance in order to do that because the lot itself is less than 1 acre, but they did secure that as well.
Move on. Have a motion. Do I have a second? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Z230024, do I have a motion?
I move.
Do I have a second? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those were pretty similar, right?
Yes, sir.
That's identical, really.
Yeah. The only caveat is on the other one that there's also going to be a vacant lot, but then they're just going to market that for it'll be zone residential, so they can market it for residential, like everything around it.
Z230025.
This is a request. This is a situation where we have split zoning on a large piece of property. A portion is on residential, and the southern portion is on agricultural. Because of the size of the property itself, and the person who's proposing to build on the lot wants to have chicken, they're requesting to rezone to A1. Planning and zoning recommended approval, but with a condition that restricts mobile homes from going on properties. That's something that is typically that would otherwise be allowed in A1 zone.
This is a farm area.
It's Mount Olive. Not necessarily a farm area, but not necessarily what you think of as residential.
Y'all talk to the neighbors about the chicken.
The notice of public hearing went out. We did receive some phone calls, but we didn't have any objections. It would be it. It would allow for
Z230025, do I have a motion to move it to the agenda? So moved. Have a motion, do I have a second? Say second. All in favor, please say aye. B230008, I have a question on this one. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. It's a change of ownership in a bar that's been established since the 1950s. Just a few years ago, there was another change of ownership. It was under the same ownership for a long period of time, I think about 50 years. A couple of years ago, some other guys had bought the facility, and we went through the beverage case then, and it was approved. This is just a new owner. There's nothing on the criminal list, there's nothing on the arrest record, and they've also never been cited by the ABC court.
The new owners?
Yes, new owners.
Okay. And the only caveat, and I'll ask them if they're here, is this: is there any chance of this becoming with a sign outside that says meat?
I'll ask.
I will ask. All right, do I have a motion to move it to the agenda, B 230008?
I'll move.
Have a motion? I have 2 seconds over there. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Emergency management, do I have a motion? This software.
I'll move it.
This is to maintain the outdoor warning center. Have a motion? And a second. All in favor, please say aye. You got all them eyes, I know that drowned you out. General services, item 1, 2, and 3. Building innovation, renovation 2121. Jefferson County medical examiner, coroner's office building, and Pennington Group, Sheriff's Department, replacing the canopy at Center Point Courthouse. Do I have a motion? 1, 2, 3.
So moved.
Have a motion? And a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. And I have some community grants, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Get everything done as quickly as I'll move it.
1 through 5.
I do.
Have a motion? Second. All in favor, please say aye. All right, we have a root resolution, item 6, ordinance 1801. This resolution authorizes amendment to the Jefferson County Entity Business License Tax Ordinance to allow some language in there.
Where is it at? Where is that at? Where is it on the agenda?
6, item page 13.
Oh, keep eye
Well, you just got your eyes somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm working.
I know. All right, this is an ordinance that will allow only, when somebody comes in to get a business license, it will allow only legal and lawful business activity on that new business.
So moved.
They don't already exist,
It's supposed to.
so they can do anything they want to do.
And they do.
That's what's happening now.
So,
And we just now deciding to do it. Because they've been doing everything they want to do
Exactly right.
for all these years. So they can open
You have to
up
ask.
a brothel.
You gotta ask.
They can open up a brothel until we pass this, so.
You gotta ask the county attorney that, because I had the same
The
question.
public need to be notified they can have a brothel for 3 days.
well, that take
You're familiar with Al Capone, right?
If we don't have it.
You're familiar with Al Capone? And he was gotten on tax evasion, right? For unlawful entities. And so the taxing law is totally separate from any other criminal activity. So because you're able to tax somebody, that doesn't pass on whether it's legal and lawful. So as a matter of fact, that is what the beginning of your ordinance says. So what this does says in terms of your licensing entity and your license location, it has to be a legal and lawful business. So it just clarifies something that should have been clarified.
That's what the good things, legal law.
all right, do I have a motion on this new ordinance? Have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Does it apply to renewal of a license?
Entities and locations.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, we're back on page 8, Budget Management Office. Here we go, we're going to take these in order. As soon as I find my other sheet. No, I got that. Yep. And other things. Good, huh? All right. We're we're gonna start on item 2 in our budget management office and go through these pretty quick.
Do we have the final version of the budget, too?
We do. But we're gonna go to item 2. This is a resolution authorizing the equipment shop charges effective October 1st, 2023. And this just changed the prices that the fleet equipment shop charges. It looks like a little bit of an increase.
I'll move it.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Oh,
All right. The second item 3 is the health department budget that was submitted to us, and we're just
By statute, we
have to adopt.
have to approve that. I'll move it.
Do I have a motion? I say motion and second. All in favor, please say aye. All right. Item 4 is the commuting vehicle usage. I really don't have much on this.
I move that.
But it's the forms summary for vehicle usage. Have a motion? And a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right. Item 5 is salary adjustment. This is our COLA for our employees of an increase of 3.5%. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
A motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. I have the holiday schedule as a BMO item 6. I do need to make a pending change. December 24th and 25th are observed on Monday and Tuesday. Christmas Day is on the 25th, so that should be changed to Monday and Tuesday. But the date should be changed to December 25th and 26th.
So moved.
Have a motion? And a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Yeah, second.
Item 7 is transfer resolution to transfer the funds to balance the budget. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Have a motion? Boy, there's a lot of crickets on this second. And a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item 8 is the permanent allocation of SSUT revenue, and this is the procedure by which we will follow to do that. Not to exceed $2 million per year. This is just allocating or earmarking SSUT funds.
So moved.
Have a motion?
Sir.
And a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And the item 9 is the allocation of the initial funds for SSUT for BMO item 9. Do I have a motion?
Move that.
Have a motion? And a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Now, we'll get back up to item 1, our operating budget. Do I have a motion to pass the budget?
With an amendment to number 1, please.
All right, number 1. What way amendment? What's
Okay.
your request?
You so kind. I appreciate you more than...
I'm trying to pass it so we can go home.
You are going home. With the good health. Yeah, right now, as soon as we finish it. Okay, so, we have...
Yes.
Okay, we're in agreement with it?
Yes.
Okay, well, good, so, but I need to say it for the record so we do it. That we appropriate $2.4 million to non-departmental, and of that, $500,000 would go to each commission district, and therefore, that would be to our community or our district fund, 500 to our district fund.
That'd be 100,000 each.
100 each.
That's right.
All right, wait a minute. No, let me just get this nomenclature straight. We're moving from fund balance, but this is, and it's
Right,
going
because
to,
this is basically what we
you're
had.
moving it to non-departmental?
Yes, sir, so let me explain it. So 2.4, we moved to non-departmental with 500,000 being applied, meaning 100,000 for each district. which would be our community grant fund or our district fund. And then 1.9 million of that can remain in the non-departmental fund.
I second. We're going to non-departmental. It was gonna go to the contingency, I thought.
Well, that is contingency, non-department, 9801, non-department.
9801, is that?
It's the same.
Okay.
Yes, sir. With that amendment.
I'll second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Thank you.
And
I move the rest of the budget.
I got a motion to pass the budget.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Done.
Good job.
There's not a lot of applause.
5 o'clock somewhere. For this whole budget guy.
Better get over there, kind of watch.
So we